right, behind the cape. First and foremost, we definitely have to say R.I.P. to James Earl Jones. I mean,
R.I.P. to the great.
what iconic role hasn't that man been in between Lion King, Star Wars, Sandlot, Coming to America?
The King of Zamunda.
That was just freestyle. I mean, there's just so many, you know. These iconic voice actor.
I was about to say quintessential voice acting voice.
Yeah.
That's the type of voice you think about when you think about a good voice actor.
Absolutely. Lived a long, prosperous life. So, you know, obviously salute to that. But, you know, obviously R.I.P. R.I.P. to the legend.
James Earl. Show.
Yep. Okay. Off to some definitely nasty news. The fact that this is even news is crazy. Megan Good is supposedly out here paying $75,000 for her boyfriend's bills, Mr. Jonathan Majors. I don't know.
According to who?
Did we actually get a source on that?
I don't know, bro. Some bitter ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari. Who knows?
Grace Jabari is crazy.
Like, who? First of all, why is this news? Why is this news?
Because
That a girlfriend is paying for her boyfriend's stuff. I'm sure that you have a friend or two in your phone book right now that are doing the same for their significant others. Let's also add to the sexist part of it that if this were a man footing the bill for a woman's stuff, that no one would have a problem with it and it wouldn't seem toxic at all. Or let's not I guess address the very real situation of this man being out of work.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no empathy for the fact that this man hasn't worked since the Dennis Rodman project was canceled.
Yeah.
Since Magazine Dreams, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what do we? I don't even understand at what angle this story was written. Is it like Jonathan's a bad person because he doesn't have money right now? Is it Megan is stupid because she's giving her finances to?
Some people would feel that that's a part of it. I don't necessarily agree with that sentiment.
Pocket watching a celebrity is crazy, number one.
Why can't she enjoy her boyfriend and want to see him not out on the streets? What kind of dumb shit is that?
Also, not a single bit of this has been corroborated. Who?
Sure.
Their banker? Did their financial advisor come out and tell you this? Who told you they would have firsthand knowledge of her finances? Sounds like speculation and hate.
Crazy.
To be honest with you, sounds like speculation and hate. Because even if it was true, there's a litany of reasons as to why that would be needing to get on, why that would need to go on that way, and none of them are your business.
A banker being like, "Yeah, here's her statements right here."
It's nuts. It's crazy.
This is where she paid his rent. This is where she paid his electric bill and Verizon. That's crazy. But yeah, no, it's definitely none of our business. And again, if it is true, they seem to really like each other at the very least. They seem to love each other. And so why would she want to see her man out on the streets? I don't see what the problem even is.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish people would get a life.
The script for Constantine 2 is finished. And it's going to be very R-rated, whatever that means.
Yeah, whatever the hell that is.
And obviously Keanu's coming back, which should be dope.
I've long said Constantine was an underrated film. Always wanted to see it get a sequel. So I guess the next news we'll be hearing is cast, right? Probably cast and news on the synopsis of the movie.
Yeah.
Did we talk about a release date? Did that post talk about a release date for the movie?
I didn't see anything. My question though is, okay, you've got that being worked on now, and they said that they had a story for John Wick 5, supposedly. Keanu's getting up there in age. I mean, how much longer do you think he can do it?
I'm going to start putting that to the side as a criticism because it doesn't really seem like the studios are really worried about it.
Sure.
We'll probably get to some more news here later on.
I mean, guys like Tom Cruise are still doing stunts and whatnot. So.
Yeah, like across the board, they are still taking the more seasoned, well-known actors, even in their late age, than trying to build up a new star. Yeah. And that's why when people argue now that there are no more bona fide movie stars, like of the newer like millennial or Gen Z generations, like there are a few.
Yeah,
there are a few. You got Tom Holland. I think Zendaya probably is pretty close.
Yeah. Are we talking about just like newer or just in
Yeah,
general?
I'm saying either Gen Z or millennial age.
We're about to have Damson Idris become.
We can't keep expecting him to be if no one's going to cast him
Right.
to do anything.
Right.
Like, just leaving him out there.
Um,
Yeah, I think that's it. No one else to mention.
that's crazy.
I think someone wanted me to say Michael B. Jordan.
Is Michael B. Jordan Gen Z?
I think he would be a millennial.
Is
he's
he
a millennial.
Oh, millennial. Okay, we're gonna include him. Okay.
Michael B. Jordan ain't that much. He's a couple years older than us.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah, he's a millennial.
Okay. Well, then in that case, you got guys like, what's my guy from Get Out? Daniel Kaluuya.
Okay, Daniel Kaluuya. I'll give you him. I'll give you Daniel Kaluuya. Well, it's hard. How can I give you Daniel Kaluuya and not give you Michael B. Jordan? Okay, I guess
You would have to.
Whatever.
You have to.
Whatever.
There's plenty of them though, for sure. And we just named a bunch of black ones.
There's a few. There's not plenty. There's a few.
Yeah.
There's not that many bona fide stars. Margot Robbie, I think,
that should have been one of the
with her validating herself with Barbie, I think she could define herself as a bona fide movie star.
Yeah.
Like where her name attached to it brings the box office.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But see that list is not very long for younger actors. And it tells you that that's the way it's going on because, again, a lot of these big name studios are opting to go with older. Even by now, conventional wisdom tells you that these guys are over the hill. If they got a 6 in their age, you know what I'm saying? They got a 6 in the beginning of their age. It's probably a little bit.
Probably shouldn't be in the latest action movie.
But here we go: Robert Downey Jr., Hugh Jackman, Josh Brolin talking about getting more work in the superhero universe.
Keanu.
Nobody's really shying away from casting old guys to do physical roles right now. So I don't know if that's more of a referendum on the newer actors or if it really speaks to the staying power of, some of our older stars. But either way, you are not seeing studios put a whole lot of money behind new faces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I never actually thought about it, but you're absolutely right. I can't think of too many more names.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. All right. Marvel Studios X-Men reboot will not include Wolverine, according to Daniel RPK.
Because Hugh Jackman is going to be reprising his role even after Secret Wars, according to Daniel RPK.
Literally what you were just talking about.
Yeah. So this is not.
Will Halle Berry come back to play Storm for future iterations as well?
That's a joke. I'm sure that's a joke. But Kelsey Grammer literally is talking about coming back to play Beast. So, like, what are we doing here? Are we going to make our own X-Men universe in the MCU? Are we going to start from scratch and let it be ours? Or are we going to continue to try to adapt? Mm-hmm. Like, man, this is all feeling very, creatively bankrupt.
And then if we're just going to go back to that, why did it take so long for us to get here?
Get to that conclusion? Because literally everything else failed, and that's like your only fallback.
Yeah. That's insane. Yeah, I mean, as much as nostalgia says, oh, I'd love to see that again, I just don't. I want to see something new and creative and inventive.
Like, part of the intrigue with being a Marvel fan is fan casting, is going through the announcement of the actual cast, theorizing about the plot, where the story is going to go, the Easter eggs that connect it to other projects. That type of that is what drives the brand. So when we're talking about people and having their intrigue over who's going to play Wolverine again, if you set up the next phase of films for it to be Hugh Jackman, you're not getting back to that core part of, like, okay, when people were trying to decide who the Fantastic Four were going to be. Mm-hmm. That was one of the more reminiscent times of, like, older MCU, right? When we were fan casting John Krasinski or guy Patel from Green Knight, or the guy that was in Quantumania. They thought maybe he was going to be Reed Richards, right? Like the fact that we were bouncing around trying to figure out who it was gave extra conversation around a couple different projects, not just Fantastic Four, but it gave a little bit of extra intrigue to Quantumania. Mm-hmm. Now the movie sucked. The movie sucked, so kind of was what it was on the result there. But that connectivity, right? Oh, I'm wondering about who's going to be the next Fantastic, who's going to be the next Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four. We already seen John Krasinski in the Multiverse of Madness. Now they're throwing, teasers out to us and Ant-Man. Who could it possibly be? It builds up hype. If we always know who's going to be around the corner, if we know what to expect from these characters, if we know how they're going to interact in certain situations, it takes away a little bit of the intrigue. Mm-hmm. It also makes you beholden to guys like Hugh Jackman or RDJ or Kelsey Grammer, who are already seasoned names, well-known names in Hollywood. So you're already starting at a certain tier in terms of payment. But now you're signaling to them and their representation that you need them. Yeah. Not they need you. You need them. Mm-hmm. Leveraging this hard, this late in the game, tells them that you need them. And I don't know if showing your belly like that is such a great move, especially for people who already struggle with their egos. Yeah. Yeah. Wesley Snipes as Blade, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, Kelsey Grammer as Beast. I can take one or two of these things and maybe introduce it into a new universe. Mm-hmm. But if all of them are here, then nothing's new at all. Mm-hmm. None of this is new at all. This is just a continuation of what we've already seen out of Marvel projects past. It is more of a collage of former Marvel projects than it is a new X-Men story or arc. Right. Or, it's just not very inventive. It's let me take all the things that you already loved from these characters and do it that way so that we don't miss.
It's nostalgia bombing.
Yeah, so we don't miss.
Yeah, which nostalgia should be used sparingly. Like, it should be used at times to help build emotional moments. It should not always be your go-to in order to sell things. Because
Halle Berry is 58.
That's crazy,
brother. I don't know. I don't know if I could tell you this, but there are some 60-year-olds that are about to get productions at Marvel. So 58 is a spring chicken for them.
Yeah, that's a fact.
58 is a spring chicken for them.
Factual. All right. Destin Daniel Cretton, the director of Shang-Chi, is also apparently doing Spider-Man 4. Are you excited for that? I know Shang-Chi was...
Yeah, it was better than most. I still didn't... Well, first of all, let me go ahead and get this out of the way. I wanted Raimi. I wanted the marriage of Tobey's Spider-Man 4 and Tom's Spider-Man 4 to come together with a Raimi film. Mm-hmm. That's kind of, I'll be honest and say that there's a little bit of bias there, and that's kind of where some of my trepidation is coming from.
Not to say that still can't happen or Sam Raimi can't come and help, but it's a long shot.
Yeah, no, it's done. It's done. But in any case, if we're going to move on to another in-house director, I'm not mad at Destin Daniel Craig. I think that the fight scenes in Shang-Chi give me a lot of hope for what we'll see in Spider-Man. I think visually he has a lot of the same cues as Ryan Coogler. Like, he's very good with music. He's very good with the cinematography, colors, right? He really has things popping off the screen. I have no problems there. I read an early synopsis on the film. We're going to be maybe doing the thing with some street-level villains, multiple of them. We'll have Daredevil and maybe even Ant-Man make an appearance. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it. My main concerns would be, who are the street-level villains? How big of a role does Murdock and Ant-Man play? I don't know why Ant-Man has a role in this movie. Maybe they owed Paul Rudd another appearance. I don't know, but I have no clue why he fits into a Spider-Man movie. All in all, man, I expect things visually to be good as long as the story is fine. I think it'll fall right and along the line of the trilogy with Tom Holland. I think it'll do just as well.
It's kind of hard to fuck that up.
Yeah, man, I was just really looking for the potential twofer. Yeah. Right, because I always did want to see a fourth Spider-Man under Raimi, and then, for him to make up for Spider-Man 3. Yeah. And I just thought it was a very opportune, or it was a good opportunity to do it now where we are currently at in the in the Spider-Man saga. But we move on. I think he's a competent director, so I'm not thinking it's going to be a bad movie. I just think it would have been better if they gave it to Raimi.
You wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Donnie Cates talks about Venom 3 and has said that he has read the script. Venom: The Last Dance. Are you here for it? I'm not.
Donnie Cates. You know what? I think you're full of shit, and I think the exact quote was that it's very ambitious. It's more ambitious than you would think of. The way that they treat Noel is the way to treat a king. I think you're full of shit. But I will give the movie a chance because Donnie Cates, the author, the creator of this story arc, says that it's okay. Now, realizing that he's literally putting his film credibility on the line for a franchise that has been absolute dog shit since it came into existence.
Yes.
And has done nothing but create further continuity confusion with the greater MCU. But if Donnie Cates, by damn you, which Donnie Cates got me, no, not really. He got me into reading Spider-Man stuff for sure. Like, I probably wouldn't be reading Venom or any of the Spider-Man stuff that I read if it wasn't for Ultimate Carnage or Absolute Carnage back in 2017, 2018, something like that.
Okay.
So I respect Donnie Cates. I think he's an amazing storyteller. I would have so much more faith in this project if he was directly connected. Having him read the script and give flowery words about it doesn't tell me that he had that much influence on it. So we'll see.
He got a movie to sell.
Yeah, we'll see what it goes. Yeah, and then this movie doing well only works out for him positively, so he has no reason to tank it or tell us anything bad about it. So we shall see. No, thanks, Rocky. We'll see how that goes. I just don't know what to expect from a Venom project at this point.
Yeah.
First two have been so god awful.
Yeah. No, I'm not looking forward to it whatsoever. So we'll just have to see what happens in the third one, I guess. Last story, Netflix is apparently going to start putting out live Hot Ones episodes out.
That's interesting.
Hot Ones
I always
getting the bag.
felt like that was it was a lane that Versus probably should have got into.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Trying to get something a little bit more solidified than just YouTube and those partnerships. And I guess they kind of tried. They linked up with Triller for a while.
Yeah, but Triller also isn't the powerhouse that Netflix
It's not.
is,
It's
obviously.
not. Netflix would have given you a better platform for exponential growth. Right? I feel like the stuff that they were doing was growing, but it wasn't growing to the scale. They needed to scale up.
Yeah.
But yeah, looks like Hot Ones cut right in there. I could also see a show like maybe Drink Champs being
Possibly.
on a Netflix, having a live show on Netflix, something like that. But
They'd have to get some really like star-studded. Like it can't be like Beanie Siegel and fucking.
you don't think if
Fat
it
Joe-
was like an 8-season show of Drink Champs with interviews that you could?
Oh
fit
yeah, I
in,
guess
like
if
a
you're
Beanie
if
Siegel or
you're
something
if you're
like that?
stretching it out, then yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess if you're just doing it for like a big live event, then it would have to be like somebody like L.A. Reid or like Lucian some fucking how.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to Black Rampage 2. $9.99 is we definitely appreciate that.
Sure.
He says, "I hate the Venom gone good spin. A hero is only as good as his villain."
Fact. I mean, I could at least get with a anti-hero arc, but he's been full on hero. Like he's been saving the day. So that is a little bit taken away. But then if you're not going to have Spider-Man in the movies, then it's hard for him to be a villain. Who's going to fight?
True.
Who's going to fight that you root for more than Venom, the main character?
Plus, I just don't think the movies are all that popular.
No, they're not good.
Anything that's in that Spider-Verse that doesn't include Spider-Man is just not doing well.
Except for Kraven the Hunter. The Kraven the Hunter is going to be great.
We'll see.
Kraven the Hunter is going to be awesome.
We
I have
shall
faith.
see. We shall see.